Gearing up for a meeting, their first face-to-face interaction in 12 months. Although there's no confirmation of a get-together, lawmakers on Capitol Hill have drawn up a list of issues they want Joe Biden to bring up with Xi Jinping. Nick Harper reports from Washington.
Well, all signs seem to suggest that this meeting will take place between President Biden and President Xi, and yet there is still no confirmation, neither from Washington nor Beijing, that the two leaders will actually get together in the same room. And yet it hasn't stopped US cable news networks here in the United States having various different panel discussions to look at what could be on the agenda. We've had think tanks here in Washington holding symposiums to look at a potential list of topics that the two men will want to take on. So, no confirmation yet, but we have seen Republicans in the House of Representatives push President Biden to challenge President Xi on a number of issues they feel should be raised. They also argue that by doing so, it would show that the US is serious about strengthening the relationship and taking it forward. In amongst that list of demands, there is stopping the flow of chemicals from China, chemicals that are used in the production of fentanyl that then leads to drug overdoses here in the US. They also want President Biden to bring up the topic of the pro-democracy campaigner Jimmy Lai, the Hong Kong pro-democracy campaigner who is still being held, and they want him to challenge President Xi on the escalation of confrontations in the South China Sea that we've seen in recent weeks. There's been plenty of diplomacy in recent weeks between the two countries, including Wang Yi, the foreign minister, coming here to Washington, D.C. We've got the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen meeting with the Chinese Vice Premier, and yet still that confirmation that the two presidents are going to be meeting is yet to come. We could see that in the coming days. Some suggestion that potentially Xi Jinping could come here to Washington for a meeting at the White House, or simply that the two men might have a brief chat on the sidelines of the APEC summit in San Francisco. Nick Harper in Washington, reporting for DD India.